Oh, we good?
Things back up and rolling.
Right on. Let's
All right, good bad idea.
Isn't it all good bad idea? Have a barbecue pass podcast with your barbecue buddy and just shit on everybody. That's a good one.
I mean, okay. So I don't have to have one. You have one. All right. Yeah.
I like it though.
Make enemies. Make enemies everywhere.
Well, I've got a solid group of guys. I don't really need any new friends. I'm if I go down with who I've got now, kosher.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say do barbecue pop-ups and do sausage. where there's like a 4-hour serving window and you're already 2 hours into the serving window where when you can finally serve people.
Oh yeah.
So you have like a 2-hour countdown of when they're like at peak quality.
There it is. It's like, this is all we've got, guys. The clock's running out. Get them now while the game's still good.
Yeah, it's like that's a dumb idea.
Yeah, you did all right, brother.
Yeah.
You did all right. I like that. Good idea, bad idea.
Only one more.
You got one more? Oh, well, yeah, that's right.
It might actually only be one more actual pop-up.
Yeah.
That's
for the year.
That's no, maybe ever.
Oh, well, no, hell no.
Dude, I don't like if there's a residency opportunity. Like, I would rather not do like. And the frequency that I'm doing pop-ups.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like the way I've been doing them might be coming to an end, which is kind of crazy.
It's fine, just a different way.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Trust me, I'll drag you out of retirement.
Yeah.
I'll drag you out. Yeah, spiel, yeah?
You want to get into your spiel?
You want to do the spiel?
You do the spiel. I'm still not up to it yet.
All right.
Cheers first.
We'll do salute.
Oh, you gotta do the shout out.
I'll do the shout out. Today's beverage, first off, many thanks 1,000,001 times over to any and all who wished me a happy birthday. I went to the P.O. box today, had like a crazy amount of birthday cards and gifts in there. It was really cool. It was like, oh, who's cutting onions in the post office? It's weird. And I don't know if anyone actually listens, but I just got back from Connecticut. Met Munchies NY. Thank you so much for the gifts. And this is what we're actually sipping on. Some Hudson whiskey from New York. She drove up and delivered it for us to partake in, my good man. So that's what we're having. Let's,
so thank you for sharing the gift with me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing like whiskey right afternoon.
We at least waited.
We waited. We did pause it out because if we'd done it at like 11 like we wanted, we'd have just been alcoholics. But
no, that's like the brunch window. We're good.
Okay, kosher. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do it. This is us. Right on. So spiel, yeah?
Yeah, spiel.
Hey guys, welcome to This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue-focused podcast that brings you the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of barbecue. I am your host, Rasheed Phillips, and joining me, as always, is the new mild when you said like you were happy to be here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, still accepting applications.
We are. The application, This Week in Barbecue at gmail.com, and it's funny.
And people have been
setting it in with the subject line, and some of them are just funny, and the body's just like, I don't flip ribs. I was like, see, that's all I need to do.
Hey, can we start reading some on air? Like, look, here's the thing: is you can send in an application now, but know that we'll read it on air.
All right, so
Fair. Moving forward,
we're not going to do any that have come in before.
Forewarned.
Yeah, if you send one in, there's a chance it will be read on air.
Email, we're reading everything on air, and thank you.
I'll sort through them and read the best. That could be my job.
I also appreciate everyone who's reached out wanting to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't know we still had friends left after all the shit you talk.
Me.
But we still have some friends left. We've got people, believe it or not, Texas that want to hop on here. So what we're going to do, we're going to establish a phone line that you guys can dial in, either leave a voicemail and we'll play it on air, or you can actually call in live and chit chat with us. It's going to be a good time all around. So
and then maybe some on the road shows.
Yes, definitely. Speaking of on the road, shout out to Miss Erica Robbie, who we know as Blue Smoke Blair, just came back up from Florida from hanging out with Stan Hayes, who is the founder of Operation Barbecue Relief. They've been out there for weeks and weeks, helping since Ian, setting up, giving away barbecue, really keeping the community spirits high. So I love seeing barbecue brothers and sisters coming together for just a great cause like that. So, Stan, brother, that's to you. And I voted for your boy's truck. It's a good-looking truck. All right. Hit me with the hard 20. What do we got in news today?
All right, hold on. I had the link.
You got the link up now.
Yeah, and then I moved to look up something else. Oh yeah, so
You're real good at that idea.
I kind of did it.
Well,
yeah.
that was half. You want to do the full one?
Yeah.
No, the real good about it was
Yeah.
was
Well,
literally
that one- that was the real
the
one.
sausage. Like
Yeah.
doing sausage at a pop up is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it honestly is stupid. Like I have because to do a pop up, the logistics of a pop up is depending on how far you're driving, you got to be packed up and ready to go. And be setting up an hour before it starts.
That's
minimum.
true. That's true.
You really want to be there probably an hour 30 before it starts.
Very true.
In case something goes wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Sausage coming off a pit and holding in a warmer does have like a 4-hour serve window. That's the max that's like it's going to be decent because the cases are going to start to get shriveled. The heat's going to start to render some of the fat. I mean, there's ways you can combat it. You could pull it a little early and let it carry over more, but you're kind of guessing
Yeah.
at that point. So in order to be packed up and ready to go, I'm pulling sausage at probably at the absolute latest 10:45 for a 1 o'clock service.
Yep, that's about it.
So by the time I'm setting up and serving it, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes into that 4-hour serving window. So like it's all downhill. Like honestly, like the best case scenario is you're sold out by 2. So that like
That's why you lead heavy with the sausage.
lead head with the sausage. Or in my case, we did something different, and sausage didn't sell as well this time. So
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah,
It's a hit or a miss, man. You know, I'll never forget doing an event pop up one time. The original Jekyll location, I made a clean $52.
clean $52.
Clean 52. I was in the hole heavy after that one.
I've never had one that bad.
Yeah, that was the early days starting out back when the menu was everything plus the kitchen sink, you know, you fine tune. Yeah, but people ask like, you know, you seem great, you do these thousands and tens of thousands of problems. I was like, yeah, but there was once a point in time where I racked up a full $52 and you just got to keep at it. And at that point, that's when most people stop. They're like, well, screw this. I'm not, you know, that was a waste. I got all this. I put this burn. I'm just going to cut my losses. No,
Yeah.
I was delusional enough to keep it going.
All right. I got
look what happens.
another good story.
Hey,
Okay,
that's what the
so
song's about.
like if a pop up doesn't go, like say you do well, but you still got some leftovers, you usually hook up the people who helped you.
Yes.
You hooked up the staff of the brewery.
I flip it. I do staff first.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, we usually
Yeah. Everyone eats. Everyone eats.
And then like if there's a regular hanging around who constantly orders, and you'll throw them some stuff.
Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah. So like I had some sausages left over, and like sausages, like once they're reheated for like after that cold smoke, you can't serve them again.
No.
That's like it's done. So like they're still good. Like if like my buddies want to take them home, the people who helped me, the people like the staff at the brewery, and so like there was a regular there, and I was wrapping them up, and it was like, hey, you want to take some like a couple links home? And she was like, sure, that's great. So there was somebody else there who had come and looked at the menu and never ordered. And then she came up after she saw us giving away stuff and said, "Oh, you giving away snacks?"
No, we're selling food.
No, we were already packed up.
Oh,
Everything's
okay.
packed up. It's like no, we're not going to give away anything. Like we did something special because this person supports us, and we're thankful for
Exactly.
the
People don't-
support. But
don't
like
understand,
you
like, that's
literally
the thing.
sat there for 2 hours and decided not to order. I'm not going to give you some free stuff now.
I never understood that though. Some people, they just do that. They're just like, oh, hey, I know you're here to make money and you're supposed to do all this and that,
Yeah.
but we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait until the very last minute. And
Yeah.
it's like, just because I do this, and they're like, well, if you do it for one, you got to do it for all. No.
No.
No,
If
not
I
for
have
it
stuff
all.
over
That's
that I
how it
can't
works.
use, like it's going to people that I need food. If I can donate it to charity,
Yeah.
it's going to go there first. I'm not going to devalue my product by like selling it at a discount or giving it away to people who
No,
chose
I
not to order.
completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree. It's one of those where you've had a few that, geez, man.
Sorry, I'm bringing up bad memories now.
No. I remember once, like back when I used to do, I remember I can count the amount of times someone said anything about price or like food on like one hand. It's it's one of those where one of the guys was like, "Oh, it's $22 for what we had the Phillips box at the time."
Right.
And the Phillips box had
And what was the Phillips box now?
it's you had 3 bones, pulled pork, brisket, mac and cheese, beans, and a sausage link.
That's a hearty box for $22.
It is.
Like even back in the day when prices weren't crazy, that is a hearty box. Like three bones. People don't understand. 3 bones is basically like half a pound of ribs.
Yeah, it's a good amount. Pop says next time tell them give them a side of F off.
I kindly just said no, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
Same to the guy who came up asked if we did samples.
Oh yeah, no, the guy. So he was like $22 for a box. He's like, bro, do not realize how much you're getting. But I don't argue with people, and I just said you've paid more for less.
Right.
It's up to you. It's like I'm not forcing you. There's no.
Right.
I'm not bringing this to you. You see the line. Guy came back. He's like, all right, I'm getting a box. We're sold out. I remember once at we won't name the brewery on air because I'm not giving them any shine. But at that one brewery that was stealing from their employees in
Okay,
Georgia,
all right.
lady was like, I wanted to order food from you, but you're just so expensive because our prices have gone up by then. And we was only $25, and the full box got even bigger. It's like, you'll never sell, blah, blah, food's just too crazy price. I'm going to go get so-and-so. It's like, okay, cool. She came back like an hour and a half later. Oh, could we get this? Like, no, we're sold out. I guess it was just too high for you.
Yeah,
if you're broke, just say that. Just
look. It's not. There's so much that goes into it. Like I was just having this conversation with Lee.
Yeah.
Just to start up the pit, cook 2 briskets.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cost the same amount of wood as it is to cook 8 briskets.
Yeah.
Like there's a barrier just to like firing up the pit. There's a cost to just doing that. No one ever like calculate. Like we calculate it, but no one ever calculates it. And honestly, we don't really bake it into our price.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Like it's still, if barbecue was priced how it should actually be priced,
Yeah.
it would be the same as some of these 2 to 3 Michelin star restaurants, hands down.
Like a rack of ribs would probably be $60.
Yeah, $60-$70.
Yeah.
without blinking. If it was priced.
Actually do all that and then like either make a video or like a really cool graphic just to be like,
This is what it actually costs. This is what you pay. This is what it should really be.
There's a reason
we're giving you a savings. That's what you need to do for your next pop-up, right? Yeah. Do a rack of ribs, $70, and mark out the 70, and say one time only, 35 or 40. Like
no,
that's the
I will
deal
like no $35 for a rack of ribs never. Like, especially now. Like it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a rough time. So I guess.
I mean, should I talk about the turkey thing?
I'd love for you to talk about the turkey thing. Shout out to a guys at Fox Brothers. And
Jonathan of Fox Brothers. Like
Craig got married, yeah.
Craig got married. So shout out to Craig and Kelsey.
Congratulations, guys. I'm not offended. I didn't get an invite at all. It's rude.
I would have, if I got an invite, I would have turned it down because I had a pop up.
I wasn't even in town, so I can't. No one brings me around anywhere anyway.
So like, Fox Brothers did the smart thing. They pre-ordered all their turkeys. Like, but honestly, like they were looking at their turkeys. They're paying $7 a pound. And like,
oh my God,
certain people are like having to charge $30 a pound for turkeys. Is like, and John was like, we can't do that. It's like, it's hard for the customer's stomach. We're going to try and make our money through selling bulk. We'll make lower margins. And like, they had to go up in price. So let's just say like, give me the breakdown.
$7 a pound.
So $12 to $15 or pound turkeys, they're selling for $95 each. Like, which is like, if a pre-smoked turkey, that's an insane deal for you not to have to cook a turkey.
Yeah, and you're just bringing it back up.
Yeah, and he said they were at 85 last year, and
so it's not drastic.
Well, no, it's not drastic. But when you think about what they're paying now, they're paying almost
the margins have lost. They made more last year than they'll make this year.
Exactly,
selling at a higher cost.
Yeah,
and that's crazy.
At like that $10 increment.
$7 a pound.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm terrified to get the numbers that I'm going to get.
Yeah, and so they're doing the 3-pound bags of sliced turkey for like 80, 85 because they're like.
Wait, so they're okay. So they're doing. They're
like
not doing holes, or
no, they are doing holes. But if you like buy the pre-sliced, buy the bag, since that's an extra labor cost to like, pre-slice it, vacuum seal it. You got to pay for someone to do all that. Yeah, that's like 80, 85, which totally makes it. Again, But like at $7 a pound for turkey, like that's still like almost like you're barely making any profit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
that's- okay.
I mean, some
all
people
right.
are like, we're up to 120 a bird, and Jonathan's like, I can't.
Well,
I should do it, but like,
the community around them wouldn't sustain it. They're
right?
not-
Yeah,
they're
it's
not
like,
gonna
well,
fur that.
like the customer is like, they're honestly doing a favor to the customer by like selling it what they're at. I know it sounds like such an asshole-ish thing to say. And I'm saying that Jonathan didn't say that. So like I want to make sure that I'm saying
let's
that.
do it right.
Yeah, I'm
All
saying that.
points and views and opinions and blah
Yeah.
blah 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 are our own. It's not
Yeah.
anyone speaking for any of the businesses.
Right. Like
It's just
Jonathan
ours.
just gave me like actual
The rundown.
numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
But like that's the thing. He's like they're doing right by their customer
They
and
are.
taking a little bit of a bath on
They're
it.
taking a hell of a bath.
Right.
When you break it down,
Yeah.
that's a big hit. But that just goes to show that what people don't realize, like we really do on the back end, we will always take a hit ourselves
Right.
rather than pass it on to you. This whole year, granted I did limited pop-ups.
Yeah.
I kept the prices the same this year, the same as they were last year, even though prices for everything went up drastically this year.
Yeah, I didn't increase my brisket prices.
No.
I finally increased my plate prices by $1.
Yeah, this year our holiday, like
Yeah.
our birds and briskets, we're going to have to increase.
Right. Well, it's funny.
Just
Like
got
I offered whole briskets around July 4th, and I was charging $125 a brisket, which was like
How many pounds finished?
it was like 3.5, somewhere between 3.5 and 4.5 pounds finished.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, I think this is the first time I was underpriced. I was slinging like 150 birds for 6 to 7 pound briskets.
Yeah. Like yeah. No, I mean, but even at 125, I was underpriced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
But you tried, like, all right, just so everyone gets it, and it's already going to be a rough time. Actually, my buddies over at 1942, we're going to feed some families. He hit me up. He's like, let's give some money away. I was like, I'm always up to give away some money.
Yeah.
So we're going to sort it out. We don't know if we're doing 10 families at 100 apiece, or we're going to do 5 families at 2. We haven't crunched the numbers, but we're going to give some money away. We're going to give some food away. We're going to give a fair amount. Try to help some people out because it's a rough time going. I've got a call after this. I had a call yesterday, and brother, when I tell you budgets are vanishing, prices and stuff are increasing. I had one partner where my budget, yearly budget, to do the things that I do, cut 70%.
yeah.
I had to read the email twice. It's like, wait a minute now. Let me do the numbers on this. So it's getting a little trippy out there, and yet we're still delusional enough to do this.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other and that's the thing. If we wanted to make money, we would not be doing this.
No.
This is not how you make money.
No, not sustainable.
Oh, someone here says J&F Barbecue. How did y'all hold your prices? We had to raise ours just between May and July due to the rise of cost. We try our best to stay affordable, but the suppliers do not make it easy. Hey, Lee, this is a note that this part will be a cut down. So just giving you a little tip there for
Yeah,
friends.
all right.
This will be a cut down. How to conserve pricing. So the way I can't speak for Bryan, maybe he'll chime in after, but the way I held my prices was I did a lot more work myself. Instead of getting a wood supplier, I cut down and sourced my own wood and burned and stored and put out and built up my own coals. So believe it or not, that's a hefty part of the cost. You know, when you're running briskets 10, 12, 14, 16 hours, you're doing those long cooks, you go through a lot of wood. But if I can eliminate up front a couple $100 in just cost before the meat even touches the rig,
Yeah.
I'm able to hold off and hold those costs. Also buying in much larger bulk quantities, hoping that I'll sell out because I don't do events often. So I'll buy a more expensive meat or a more expensive cut in a larger volume because I know I can sort of get that price break, you know, because it's like, hey, you order 10 pounds, you order 20, but if you order 50 pounds, we can cut your per pound cost 30, 40%. okay, bet I can do that part because I know this is an item people want, and I'll just lean heavy into marketing that, and then I'll do other things such as I'll put up pre-orders, and pre-orders really help eat up a lot of that initial cost. It's like, all right, great, we're already making money, we can go into the black. So, and that's what I do now. When I do a pop-up, I'll do pre-orders, and I try to enter the pop-up in the black. So anything else that we make on pop-up day, pure profit.
Right.
But that's just me, brother. You wanna
I
chime
mean,
in?
for me, like until September this year, I still had a full-time job.
Yeah.
B, a part-time job doing sausage for somebody else. So on top of the pop-ups were
Your third job.
my third job.
Are you sure you're not Jamaican? Because I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna ask mom because
So-
I feel like somehow.
I didn't rely on it as a source of income.
Yeah.
So I could afford to not raise prices.
Fair,
Because
fair.
if I was showing even just a marginal profit after like labor, after like renting a U-Haul, after like all this other like cost that no one sees, like I was okay. Because like what for me, we were up 40% from last year. So the increase in goods wasn't hitting me as hard, even with like increased costs, because I didn't rely on it. Now, when I have to rely on it, it's a whole different ballgame. And
It does drastically change, which is why I always suggest pay yourself.
right,
You have to pay yourself from Jump Street. All right, you've got to pay yourself because when you pay yourself, you get used to having to move that money. You start to really see what it's like. So you've got to pay yourself from the very beginning. There's a wonderful book out there, Profit First and the E-Myth. Great books that anybody out there listening, snag it. Hefe, the boss of Rolling Smoke down in Texas, Mr. Robert Sierra's graced us with his presence in the chat. Thank you, brother. Hope all has been well to you and yours.
yeah. I mean, for me, like I've been too terrified to go look at the actual hour breakdown to what I was actually making in profit.
You have to. You've got to know these numbers.
As long as I keep it out of sight for right now and just do it going forward, it's fine. Because then you're like, why have I been doing this? But like if I like keep it out of sight, we're like, okay, like I was building something before.
It is.
Now it's like now I can actually do a breakdown and be like, okay, this is what I need to be profitable.
And it's definitely true. But sometimes it's good to sit down and go through. I remember, and I started the business with paying myself. I knew that from jump. I was like, I've got to pay myself something. And I think I was paying myself like $8 an hour.
Yeah.
And you don't have to give yourself full salary, but I was paying myself $8 an hour. I was putting in as much sweat equity as I could. And if you're starting up or maybe you've built in, but you're really seeing those margins shift, where can you cut or rebalance costs a little bit? The more you do sourcing your own goods, can we shift that to a net 60? Can we go to like a net 90 for the holidays? Like I've made those calls already. I've already made those holiday, because we talked about it off here months ago. I was like, brother, I'm already talking to my guys back in March for Thanksgiving. Like, hey, we're going to roll that. I know we're on a net 30, and we always pay far ahead. You've never missed any. I need a net 90 for the holidays.
Right.
Because we don't know what's coming and I'm forecasting. And they agreed. Why? Because one, I asked, and two, we've already established that great track record of paying on time, paying early, never having to be the one you got to hunt down to collect for. You never want to be that vendor. Never want to be that vendor. And if you're running a restaurant, because I know some cats run a restaurant and they're buying from Walmart and Whole Goods, like, bro, I don't care how good the deal is, you're paying too much when you're on a restaurant level. Go get with a vendor, go get with a supplier, fill out the forms, get going.
Sometimes it makes sense, but other times, like
on potatoes, but I don't care how great the deal is. Long term, it's better balanced out to have something.
Well, no, I mean, but there's other issues. Like if you're going to pick up your stuff, you get a better rate than if they deliver it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So invest in a good truck. Invest in a solid truck. Speaking of trucks, get yourself a 2022 Toyota Tundra, fully loaded Platinum Edition. Shameless plug for my black stallion out front there. I should probably show her one day. She rides like a beast, man.
Toyota? We'll take any and all sponsorships.
Any and all, right? Well, my sponsorship sitting in the parking lot.
Okay, there you go. There you go. So when do I get mine?
Well, I don't know. We're still accepting applications.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Let me know when you stop flipping ribs, and then we can maybe have a conversation.
Never.
Let's see.
I woke up late for my my pop up this weekend. So to do a ribs, they should have been on no later than like 3.
Okay.
I didn't wake up till 4:19. I got ribs on by 4 after the fire restart. I got ribs on by 4:45. They were full spares.
Full spares. Okay.
They were off by 9:15. I was cranking.
I was gonna say it's like somebody went into overdrive.
Well, hey, you know what? Still pretty damn good.
Hey.
And they were flipped.
Someone asked, what are we drinking? This was a birthday gift, which I share with mine. If I eat, we all eat. So once again, thank you, Munchies NY, for the amazing Hudson Whiskey NY. Nice little bottle.
Yeah, I learned that trick from Johnny White of Goldie's. He did full spares in like 3.5 hours one time, and they were actually pretty decent. So,
let me ask as like the dumb barbecue guy. And
right on.
If you push it that fast, what are you like? What's the trade-off?
you need to give time for surrender. Also, if you go too hot too fast, the meat will start to curl up because it will start to shrink from like the heat pressure. There's an actual scientific term that I don't know, but like the edges of a brisket or ribs will actually curl up. Now, I honestly trim ribs with 2 bones on the outside that I call my protector ribs.
Those are my sacrificial.
Yeah, they're sacrificial ribs that if I have to, something goes wrong and they have to go fast, there's these ribs that I'm honestly never gonna serve anyway. They're like the testers or the nibblers or whatever.
The little Pitmaster snacks.
Pitmaster snacks.
We've had a couple of those Pitmaster snacks.
And honestly, sometimes those are the best ones because they're super crusty. Yeah, they got that nice bark. Yeah,
no,
but they're there to protect. In case something goes hot, if the pit, whatever. So, honestly, what I did is I started kind of at a reasonable temperature, and then I skyrocketed kind of about an hour and a half, 2 hours into the cook, where if I had skyrocketed right off the bat, they would have curled more and been
going that or hotter, faster to make the cook happen faster. It's just more of a dance.
Right, and then because I was also riding higher, I pulled them off a little sooner. Wrapped them, and then immediately threw them in the Cambro so that there's this carryover to where they're going to hit the perfect zone because they have more momentum because I was cooking faster. Sure. So if you're cooking at 250, when you pull them off, they're not gonna have as much momentum as if you're cooking at 300.
Yeah.
So
no, I did. Should I talk about the trip? Yeah.
I think so. We can save other news for next week, man. Let's just get into it, man. I mean, do you feel comfortable doing it?
Well, I don't.
I'm just saying.
Hot dang. How do I feel? It would.
How was your trip to Connecticut?
How was my trip to Connecticut? I'm gonna get to your question in a second, Bork 43. How's my trip to Connecticut?
You want to do one question real quick?
Yeah, let's do his question.
Yeah,
and we'll roll into that
because we might not get to many questions.
We might because it's a time limit.
This might not be a mini question episode.
Question is, do you have any tips for doing pork belly burnt ends on a pellet smoker? You're on the wrong live feed for that question.
All right. So
I've tried them once and they could have been more tender. I got nothing in the realm of pellet smoker tip.
I got a good tip for pork belly.
He's going flat out pork belly. So
all right. It doesn't matter if you're on a pellet smoker or regular smoker or whatever.
Give it to him.
So Bradley Chubb, he does this great technique where he cuts the pork belly into strips.
Yeah.
And so instead of cooking a whole pork belly and then cubing it later or cubing it all pre-done and then putting it on a rack, you kind of make these long. So you'll go if your pork
extra thick bacon strips.
Yeah, basically extra thick bacon strips,
yeah.
Probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches.
Right
so you cook those until about they reach 190, 195.
Okay.
Then you pull them off, and also you'll get really good bark coverage, kind of on a lot of these pieces.
Are you salting beforehand or no?
Oh yeah, you're absolutely. You just do your normal rub.
All right.
So you're getting a great bark, and it's covering most of these like most of the surface area of this, like these giant bacon strip. You pull it off, you let it cool down a little bit, then you cube them up, toss them in your sauce, add extra rub, put them back on.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the biggest thing with pork belly burn-ins is people probably aren't taking them far enough.
No, I don't think they're letting the fat go.
Right. Yeah. You need like pork belly burn-ins. You need to be in like if you want a little bit more bite, 190 to 195. If you want them to be like tender, pull apart, you're going into like the 203, 205 range.
Okay.
Yeah. Like honestly, like again, take a probe, feel it. If it feels like there's like no tension in there, like then they're done. But you want to cook it longer than you think you should. And like pork belly, you can cook at a higher temperature.
You can, because it's got so much of that fat.
Like
in
you
there.
can start at like 250 for like the first 2 hours, and then
What are you getting up to 275?
275, and then like honestly, after you glaze them and stuff, 275 to 300.
Get that nice tacky. Let the sauce
Exactly, and you're gonna reduce that sauce faster too.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, I think that's the thing is that people aren't like, you have tools, you have like use the tools to get to like and read the temperature. Don't feel like you have to do it all by feel. You'll learn how to do it by feel later. Use the tools, that way you can see that stuff first.
Use a probe. The probe is your friend.
Yeah. So and shout out to Bradley Chubb for like that. Like I would have never done it in that strip. I started doing that's how I do it every time now, and it comes out great.
I do that, but I do it when I'm making chicharrones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, when you still have the skin on.
Yeah. So that's my go about it.
Yeah.
No. Right
so
on.
I mean, he has it. Like, go look up one of his YouTube videos. We'll probably put a link in the show description.
Well, you dropped it, so
yeah. So yeah.
No. Yeah. Hope that answered your question. Really do. That was a pretty good one. What was my question?
Oh no. There's a recap of a trip to Connecticut.
A recap.
Do you want to hold up to your swag?
Oh yeah, this Roost Yeti thermal. We're gonna give that away. He says thank you. He appreciated the info.
Oh no.
Connecticut, beautiful state.
Oh, especially this time.
This time of year, like hands down, I was having a ball. Walking everywhere. Subtle jabs. You got to pull it back, guys. Pull it back. Bryan's mom's listening. I had a good time seeing. Stayed in Mystic,
Right.
and it was a very.
Did you get some
nice
pizza?
time. It was atrocious.
It's not the right part of the state.
Like I had because of course the whole movie, but the wait staff was amazing. Our waitress was absolutely phenomenal. Left her I think our plate was like $20. Gave her $20 tip. It was like a fun time. She informed us, let us know and stuff. Appreciated that. But no, pizza was less than frozen DiGiorno's. Had no taste on there. We were salt and pepper and cheese and any and everything in between. But the ambiance was dope. So I'd go back just to kick back and relax, have like a slice and a beer. But I'm not like. It's not an immediate must.
I mean,
photo op thing, yes. Also went out. This is what I'll do because this is it. Trust me, I could run 3 episodes shitting on what happened easily without even trying. I think I am in debt. I lost money on the trip after everything that I had to pay for.
Wow,
I'm pretty sure I lost money.
When I asked about it,
I do my
can I just say this?
Yeah.
I asked about it before the show.
Yes, you did. Because
Rasheed didn't give me a response. He just started laughing.
And I walked away.
And walked away.
And came back with a bottle of bourbon.
So I will say you walking through the fire was pretty badass.
Well, yeah, that's my thing. Here's 2 things. Like I said, it'd be easy to shit on it. Very easy. I wouldn't even have to. I'm talking about Taco Bell late night bubble guts.
Okay, and also,
but we're not going to run down that road.
Can I preface it by saying this is someone who's done a ton of events?
Yeah, I've done some change. No, I've done a pound or two.
Okay. This is not like this is my first event.
This is not my first rodeo at all.
Yeah, okay.
It's not. And at various places by various things on different budgets. And if I had to put it on list of top to all my events in order, this is at the bottom.
Wow.
This is at the very bottom. It starts with this and gets progressively better. And that's all I'll say. Overall, not even overall, honestly, here are the highlights of my trip.
Okay.
One amazing shout out to Matt and his crew. Matt runs a oyster farming business with his father and some of the hardest working men and women in Rhode Island. I mean it, because they took us out on the boat. And if you guys aren't following, follow Corey.Overton. That's CORREY.Overton on Instagram. He's got a recap on there for us. And they took us out on to go oyster farming. It was myself, Brad Leone, Jeremy Charles. Jeremy just looks like a fucking Filson model all the time. Like just breathing. I'm like, you can't take a bad photo of Jeremy. We tried. There's not one. He's just got this rugged seaman beard, grade, salt and peppered out. The Mina's like, bro, like I'm sending this to Filson. Like, we're gonna get you a contract. Just send me some boots. Went out with those gentlemen. I'm in Brad brought a little wetsuit thing for me where we hop in the water. They show us their program. It is absolutely just what they're doing there is amazing, and it is laborious.
I was going to say, any profession that requires you to be on a boat, I've never been around those guys who, at the end of the day, wasn't just like, fuck, you work.
They work. You guys know I run, I work out, I train. Like, I had better legs stepping out of the jet flying with the Blue Angels than I did getting out of the water with them, because we were fighting currents. It was windy. It was cold. I remember just trying to step over a rope, and my legs were like, nope, time out. We're quit. I was like, wait a minute now. Come on. Like, I kind of need this to work. It was absolutely an amazing time with those gentlemen. I've never, and probably will never have, oysters as fresh as I did there. We literally snagged them out of the water, crack them, go. It was just wonderful. Completely enjoyed it. So hanging out with Matt and his whole team and Charles and Cameron. Charles just has this wild, rugged beard that's just bleached out by the sun. And it is a full body workout hoisting those cages out of the water, lifting up the bags. He said the whole team is swole. Yeah. The whole team is ripped and just jacked dudes. No gym memberships in sight. Yeah, natural. Full natty. It's just we're oyster farmers. So that was a highlight. Kicking back with Brad and Jeremy, just, going over recipes, sharing stories, absolute highlight. Like I said, there was just so many things that happened getting there and still happened while there that just made the aspect of it. But this is what professionalism is for me, at least my personal definition. Right. Professionalism is the attendees and the crowds have the time of their lives without ever knowing anything went wrong. If you attended that festival, you should have left. And if you're watching, you should have left there thinking it was a blast, like everything went to a T. That's professionalism. Because inside, it's just like, we're out of this, this wasn't provided, this wasn't said, But professionalism, right. The attendees leave not knowing the wiser. And that's what it was. I don't go to cook, I go to put on a show. And that's what I did. As you mentioned, yes, I was walking through fire. Why? Because I walk through fire all the time. I know what I'm doing. I know where my spots are. I know where the radiant heat was. I got to cook on the fire beast. We had a line so long, it wrapped back to the entrance.
Oh, that's badass.
Oh, it's so this is why I say I will not lower my value to fit your budget. Right. I won't, because this is what I do. There were some amazing chefs there. Shout out to Chef Renee. Shout out to Chrissy. Shout out to everybody, Brad, the whole crew. We had Andre Mack there, who was pairing and delivering wonderful wines. It's a whole gig. No one ranked. I'm not putting anyone on a list, but this is my thing. I can put on a show and we draw a crowd, and that's exactly what we did. We had people waiting for the grub. So I did Jamaican surf and turf.
The jerk oysters.
Yeah, I did jerk oysters, jerk clams, and jerk New York strips. No knobs, no dials, no propane, no nothing. Literally my hands, my shovel, and a match. That's how I get down. We built up my fires, I had my coals going, and just serving them up literally fresh right there. I had the clams steaming and bubbling over. Yeah,
look, man, if it was real though, you would have flinted it.
I would have flinted it. Oh wait, I did use a match. Okay, I did use a match. I didn't use a propane, so I'd use a traditional.
No,
match.
no. You got to.
I know. I get build up my stack, but
take 2 rocks. Just.
But everything was so. My prep is different than everyone else's prep. Right. There was a prep day. Didn't go. I walked the entire city. But I didn't go to the prep day because it doesn't work that way for me. I'm cooking on a giant stone vessel. So we got there the morning of the event, and everything is wet because it's outside. The wood pile to cook with is wet. Everything's soaked, so I know what I have to do, which is get everything warm. And you don't start an inferno because that's how you break and split rocks.
Right.
So I'm slowly building baby fires. I'm warming everything up, getting everything up to temp, checking where the wind is going, moving the wood pile a bit to block off direct some airflow, doing things I just know how to do from doing this so often. So that by the time it's time to put on my Superman outfit, which is just, my leather apron, cap, and headphones just to lock in, we're going.
2 of those are on sale.
2 of those. Well, I don't know if they have. The hats are on sale. I haven't announced the aprons yet, so thanks for ruining the surprise.
Sorry.
Jeez.
I thought.
And you had to say it right as the petty sister came in the chat.
I thought the aprons were on sale. I mean, you showed them to me. So.
I showed them to you. Doesn't mean they're on sale.
Okay, my bad.
I'm not showing you shit anymore.
thisweekindbarbecue@gmail.com, still accepting applications.
Yeah, this is how leaks happen. This is you're the Tom Holland of barbecue. No, but it was fun. Like I said, there was just some tweaks, some stuff, and yeah, you can chalk it up to first year, but there's also just the lack of communication. If I tell you I have 2 special guests that need to be there, don't tell them to go buy a ticket when I don't have the extra hands I was given to begin with.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Like I said, it'd be easy to Taco Bell 2 a.m. shit on this, but that's not my gig. I had a blast with the chefs. I met Chef Renee, who is a complete badass. She is putting in work in these kitchens. She's the head chef over 2 restaurants, the Dive and Oyster Club. If you're in Mystic, go ask for Chef Renee. Tell her she sent you. Give her a giant beer hug. And it was just a good time. It was a great time overall, hanging with the chefs, talking with the chefs, cooking with them. We had chef's night out. Poor Corey tried to keep up. It's not a good thing to go out drinking with chefs. It's very hazardous to your health.
Yeah, I mean, and if there's any food involved, and like,
yeah, you gotta be careful. We went out with Talk, an amazing musical artist from Canada. Such a loving guy. That man can belt. He's got some pipes. Love his song "Save Me." If you haven't heard it, check it out. I'll drop that link as well. But the highlights for me were, it's always fun. There was this young little girl, maybe like 7 years old, came. She's like, "Oh my God, the rocks are so huge and fire." And I was just explaining her like how it worked. Cause she was asking like, "How are you controlling all this?" And I was trying to explain it as best I could to explain to a kid, and just joked with her. I was like, "Hey, if you go find a giant marshmallow, I'll help you roast it." And she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go look for it." But so you have those moments. It's definitely something that I believe everyone who attended will be the first ones to buy tickets next year.
Right.
And those who miss it and see the recap, they're going to be the ones like, "Oh yeah, I'm not missing it again."
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone left who was an attendee had anything to say, but chefs talk and whispers move, and we all sort of had the same gripes whether we announce it or not. I'm probably the only one saying it out loud because fuck you, money.
You're getting invited back, though, right?
I don't know. They'll probably have someone else helm the beast next go around, but I got it warmed up.
They'll want someone using the provided ovens.
No, and it was mine, and really good on Gosney for it. Got to meet the Gosney team and hang out with them. Chatham, Rich, Matt, Mark, they're all great guys. Glenn on audio, just maneuvering, getting all the sound bites, He gave me a little reach around for my audio pack. I was like, I usually get offered a date first, but all right, well, that's how it is in Connecticut. You know how they do it in London. They're all British. It was a good time, brother. With those guys, it was memorable. Like I said, oyster farming, just being in there, just brought me back to my roots as a kid growing up on a farm in Jamaica. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. From that point, there's just got to be some tweaks and stuff. This can be an amazing experience And that's the thing. If you're going to do something, it should be an amazing experience on both ends for the attendees and those who are attending.
Yeah, you just hope that like it's a first time thing. So like there's some rough edges, and then it just gets better from here.
You hope.
Yeah,
you hope. But no, those like I said, those are the highlights. Some of the highlights for me. I got a whole blog recap I'm going to post on the news site and everything, and share a little bit more of the photos. But Talk, great guy, amazing voice. Chef Renee, complete badass. Thank you to Brad Leone. Thank you to Dan, who has like the most beautiful piece of property in Connecticut. The attendees, if you are going to stay somewhere in Mystic, check out the Whalers Inn. Ask for Dan. He knows any and everything about the area. He's a retired police captain. Nice young ladies working the desk. You know, not much to yell about at Mystic Pizza, just other than the staff being very knowledgeable. But I will definitely say go check out the Oyster Bar. They've got some really good stuff. Engine Room has a really funky flannel old fashioned. I was like, I swear they made that just because of me. I know they knew I was wearing my flannel and came over there. But there were definitely highlights. I got out of it what needed to be gotten, is what I should say.
Good.
And I did what I was supposed to do. Did my job. I put on the show. I made memories, not meals. And with that, I can lay my head down at night and be happy about it.
That's all you can ask for.
So, yeah. That was that was that. I know. I definitely looking forward to the next gig that we have coming. Oh, and someone mentioned, yes, I can't forget. There was a drummer, 17, 18.
Yeah. I saw the footage on it.
He put in work.
Yeah.
Oh, we were at the Jazz Lounge. This is why I said be careful going out with chefs. We're at the Jazz Lounge. Shout out Chef Renee once again. He was cutting it up. Man knew what he was doing and just vibing that whole night. He set the scene. So if you're looking for a chill spot, make sure that drum is there. You're going to have a good time. Real good time. You got anything to add on this one, brother?
No, I think it's going to be a shorter one. But
I think we should let it ride on this one. Let this one marinate for a little bit.
Exactly.
Come back with some fresh views, fresh vibes. Between now and the next, you would have had a pop-up and such. I'd have had some meetings to deliberate where we're going to be.
Our buddy Bryan Keenan's doing a pop-up Saturday at Proper Tap Roswell. I hope I got that right.
If not,
Proper Tap House in Roswell. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's off the strip there.
Yeah, I've never been, but I heard it's a cool place. Okay. So
nice, man. Good on Bryan. Who else do we know doing about? Richard's got something cooking up.
Yeah, Richard's doing a whole hog thing at Anderby Brewing soon.
Yeah, so we got to get that and toss that in the show notes. Yeah. I know. Shout out to Rodney for dropping another 4 sets of spices with Spice House. I was going to put on there was going to be a industry only night, but it actually happened yesterday. But I only saw it the other day. But we'll get some more news. I just wanted to put that out there and just say, overall, guys, know your value, know your worth. Whenever you say you're going to do something, you got to be there. Whether the other end is held up or not, always make sure you hold up yours.
Unless you're like me and you're like, it's thunderstorming. I'm going to cancel this pop-up.
Yeah, what are you going to do? But as always, I appreciate and thank you guys so much for tuning in to This Week in Barbecue. I have been your host, Rasheed Phillips, and joining me as always is the newly shaven but still bearded wonder,
Bryan Hull.
Right on. And thanks for tuning in. Make sure to tell a friend to tell 2 friends and be good to one another.